I'm joined by Indiana baseball head coach Jeff Mercer. Coach, you just wrapped up the 5-game Hoosier series. We'll get into more detail here in a minute, but how great was it to see your guys back out there on the field competing?
It was a lot of fun, and we extended the World Series to a 7 game set just because it is such an enjoyable experience, and you do get to see so much more when you just turn the national anthem on and you put some uniforms on and let the kids coach the teams, and all of a sudden you get to see a lot of personality traits come out that you may not see in a more subdued setting. So it was a lot of fun. It got kind of rowdy and had some big swings back and forth, but it was really enjoyable just to watch the kids be kids and compete and have fun and enjoy themselves. So it was a great success for many reasons, but mostly because you got to see the kids just really be in the moment and enjoying themselves again.
Who are the masterminds behind the names Summer School and the law office of Bierman and Behrman?
Actually, we asked for team names, and I think Tommy came back with his team name pretty quick. And the Bierman boys were late, and so when you're late, you leave yourself open to letting the coaching staff make decisions. So I think Coach Parker and Denton came up with the law office of Bierman and Bierman. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think it was quite as funny, I heard, but I guess be on time, or like my high school football coach said, that to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late is to be forgotten. So you got forgotten, and you got your name picked for you.
They won't be forgotten though, because they're permanently in that name, which is quite clever,
That's
especially
right.
if we got Denton making that name or Coach Parker. Obviously, a lot of talent returns. You get a lot of talent as well with a really good freshman class. Let's start with some of those returnees. Who kind of stood out to you in this series?
Well, Jeremy Houston had a really nice series. He was really impressive. Cole Barr had a really good series. McCade Brown threw really well. Ty Bothwell threw really well. Um, just overall there was some of those upperclassmen that really kind of stepped forward and did a good job. It was good to see a couple of those arms just kind of really take the next step. McCade and Ty being the ones that really come to mind first, but those guys were outstanding, and they got two starts, which was awesome. So now you get two starts a week apart, and you got to go back out and do it again. And we are talented enough offensively to hurt you if you're not able to really execute pitches. So to do it twice after everyone watched you the week before, to come out and do it again, I thought really spoke to their ability to manage.
What's it been like? Obviously, the extra year of eligibility, so you have some guys coming back. There's maybe a few more people in the clubhouse this year. What's that blend kind of been like with some guys getting an extra year and getting another opportunity?
Well, it really has helped from a maturity standpoint to have some guys in the locker room that normally wouldn't be in the locker room, be it to graduation of professional baseball. But those guys are able to really communicate and relay, like, hey, this is how it's going to be. And with us not having a season, the one thing that I've noticed, and we talk about the staff a ton, is you lose the humility of that the season brings, where you lose a game you shouldn't lose, or you get beat up a little bit, or something happens, and through humility comes perspective, and perspective allows you to go to work and improve yourself. So those guys are able to be in the locker room like, hey, I'm telling you, I know that worked today, but that's not going to work long term. And so that leadership has been critical. And it's been nice to have some guys in there that you've coached that know how the program operates. That it's like, hey, this is how we do things, and you can kind of turn them loose on the practice plane instead of feeling like you're constantly trying to explain just how the structure operates. So that part has been really good. And you begin to build relationships where you've got your own stories now. You've got your own funny stories. You have your own anecdotes. You have your own enjoyment, which is what makes college athletics so much fun, is having a good time with the kids and building those relationships and having shared experiences.
You mentioned McCade Brown. I saw he topped the charts on the fall fastball leaderboard. Where do you see him kind of taking the next step as he looks forward to his third season in the spring? Where's he heading, and what could his role be?
Well, there's really no limit to what McCade can do, and that's always been the case. But he's further along, and obviously in his physical progression. And I do think there's another step or two in his physical progression that will come this offseason as he's been able to get on the mound more and experience it. He's going to be play a pivotal role for us. He's going to play a pivotal or be a big piece of the puzzle here. I do think that his growth and managing the game has been tremendous. Maybe as much as anything, just his ability to manage base runners and manage counts and to land his off speed pitch. And you look at the change ups really grown. He's got two separate and distinct breaking balls now, which is a big deal. The curve ball is a plus pitch and the slider is a plus pitch. So the ability to manage and have different weapons to attack both lefties and righties to hold the run game, although all the intricacies that come from playing, and it's what he hasn't done. He hasn't played a bunch until this past year. He's really grown in all those areas, but I think there's another big step in his physical growth, and I'm confident we'll see it after the offseason.
Well, let's talk about some of those newcomers. I saw a couple of them toward the top of the exit velocity, the distance leaderboard. Obviously, so many guys coming back, they're going to have to work extra hard here to be competitive. What impressed you the most out of some of those young guys, and who kind of stood out to you in the Hoosier series?
Well, I like Kip Fugers. He did a good job. He's really grown defensively, and he's a mature kid, can have a good at bat. I thought he did a really good job. Brennan Rowe has been terrific. Brennan's really come in and developed himself defensively. I think faster than I anticipated he would in the infield. Offensively, he's always been a good player, but showed himself well there too. So those two guys stick out. I'll tell my mind as far as the young guys. Alex Logish has gotten back, had a little bit of an injury, nothing serious, but he came back and threw a couple quality innings. It was nice to see him get back on the mound. But those three guys did a good job over the last couple of weeks and have proved themselves to be, pieces that we're going to rely on this year and into the future. And there's other young guys that done a good job too. But those three guys, I think right now you would say, hey, there's some guys that are going to help us out this year.
You mentioned how competitive it was in the Hoosier series. Was there a prize on the line? Was there a trophy or something the guys got to play for?
Just pride, and the ability to run your mouth a little bit. So you give a bunch of 20-year-old young men an opportunity to run their mouth, and they want to take it. So a lot of pride. The one team was up 1-0 in the series, and then they were up by 9 runs in the second game, lost the lead, lost that game, and then went on to lose the series. So it was pretty rowdy. It got pretty rowdy in there, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. Well,
obviously last season was cut short. So was there an extra sense of excitement just to get out there on the field? And then is there an extra sense of excitement for the upcoming spring season?
Yeah, there was a ton of excitement to get back, just that sense of relief, and certainly through the summer and the shutdowns and those things. But there was a great sense of relief. And I think, again, as much as anything, just being around each other again, just enjoying each other's company and funny stories and anecdotes. And yes, everybody loves baseball, but there's just so much more to it than playing the game. So I think that was the biggest thing for those guys, getting back together. And I know everyone has great anticipation for the spring to be here as quickly as possible. But the reality is we have to get a lot better. We really do. The guys missed a lot of time in the weight room. They missed a lot of time training physically, and that's where we are deficient right now. And so we have to really invest in that area these next 3 months. And there's plenty of time to get back to where we need to get to. And I thought the fall was well executed from a skill acquisition standpoint. And now we just have to build that base back of strength and get ready to go for the spring.
How much did you pay Mother Nature to get this weather that you guys got to play in? Man, you guys
Yes, you're right. I mean, I can't believe we went to the 7-game set, one, because I thought it would be good from a competition standpoint. But the other thing was, hey, if we don't start the World Series now, we may not get it in, not knowing that we were going to get 75 and sunny. Mm-hmm. I mean, we could have played another couple of weeks. I hope it doesn't indicate we're going to have a long, arduous winter. But either way, it really helped us to get a bunch of defensive reps. You think about an outfielder, when he goes home, he can't replicate seeing a fly ball. He can't replicate, 110-mile-an-hour line drive right at him and reading that and reacting. There's just certain things that you just have to be on the field, and you got to get a ball up and you got to see it and read it. So we got a chance to get a ton of those, and I think it'll really help in the long run. But now we have to come back underneath and kind of build the base back up from a technique standpoint and from a physicality standpoint.
Well, it was good to see the guys back on the field. I'm sure you enjoyed it as well. Coach, thanks for your time. Enjoy the holidays, and I'm sure we'll be back before we know it here for the upcoming season.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.